All right, so in this video, I will be going off of what I started in the last one. So if you are new, definitely click the link below and go watch that last video first, and then come over and continue. For everyone else, let's go ahead and begin. Above this My Salary text field, we want to go ahead and add in a header, and you can do that by adding in a section. So let's do that first. So above text field, let's do section. And within forms, you can add sections, which that's what we'll be doing. We want to go find header, and we want to go ahead and remove the content part and just get to header. There we'll pass in a text, and inside the text we will ask, what is your current salary? Question mark. And then we will go ahead and wrap this inside this text field. All right, so let's resume that. Great, so it's right above here. What is your current salary? And then you have my salary, so we can enter that. So let's do 12 grand to start. And great, it's showing up down here. Now, the next thing we want to add is the actual percentage of what our bonus was. So let's do that. I'm thinking making an array of bonus percentage from 1 to 10, because most of the time your annual is in between that range. Sometimes not, but a lot of times you'll see that. So we'll go ahead and make a variable, and then we'll name it bonus percentage. And then we're going to set this to equal this array, and we'll make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So in anywhere in between here is what you'll be seeing bonuses as at least for this app. And you can make an adjustments if you'd like. So next thing is we have this text right here that's just showing up whatever we write in our salary, and it really doesn't need to be here. So we're going to get rid of that, and in its place we're going to use a picker, because we want to be able to select what percentage of bonus that we got. So go ahead and type in percentage, our picker, and I'm going to use this localized string key. And the first one is what you want the picker to be named. So it's going to populate. I'm going to say, what is your bonus value? Okay, with a question mark. Okay, and then you're going to see this selection. Now here's the thing, and this is why I left this as a var up here. You see your selection that we need inside this picker. So if we're familiar with pickers, it's what you're selecting in the picker. It needs to be binding. Well, we know now that this just normal var is not going to be binding, so we have to add an @state property to that. And now we're able to pass this in here. So now we can do the $sign to make it binding. We'll go down to bonus percentage, but we also want to start it at 0, because as arrays, they start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. They don't actually start from 1. So we'll say from 0. Okay, so that'll be the selection. We're not going to do content here, but we will do some logic. So from there, we'll do a for each loop. And in here we'll pass ... less than, we'll do, sorry, from 0 to ... less than, and then you'll add your bonus percentage again. And then you'll do a count. So anything less than the total count of the bonus percentage. And the reason why you have to do the count is, and go less than, because it starts at 0. So if we were going to 10, it needs to be less than, so it stops at 10 because you started one less. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain. I'll show you it though. So from there, now we got to make our text. And inside the text, we're going to do string interpolation. And we're going to pass in something called yourself.bonus percentage. And then we're going to pass in the normal $0, so it's the one we're active on. And then we want to have a little % sign showing. Okay, so now let's go ahead and resume this here. And we should see, boom, what is your bonus value is right here. And right now it's sitting at 2%. Well, let's go ahead and click in here. Well, wait, this is a picker. We told it what we should be seeing, the values. Why can't I click in here? And the answer to that is we do not have a navigation view. So it's trying to go to a different view and it can't because it doesn't know what to do. So on this form here, we're going to go ahead and embed a navigation view. And now whenever we click this, it'll go to another view and we'll be able to select what we want and then go back. And you'll see now. So if I go in here, select 4, it goes to 0, and you see a flaw going on here, 9%. But up here, like this isn't looking correct. There's a lot of funkiness going on with this, which we'll discuss in a bit what exactly is going on. But as far as what it's doing and how it looks, it's good. So we have what we want it to be called. It's a question, so the user knows what this percentage is. Well, what's your bonus value? Oh, well, I made 3% this year. So then they can go in here and select 3%. Now, making it populate correctly, we'll be working on that coming up. The next thing is we want to make these actually show up one after another. And you can do that now that we have this navigation view in here and we have this picker. We can go down here and do .picker style, and inside the picker style type out segment, and you'll see this segment picker style. Do that and then initiate it. And now look, now instead of going and clicking into it, it automatically shows, which I think looks a lot nicer. So this user can type in their salary, of 100K. Now their bonus was from 5%. And then, it's going to do calculations and actually show their percentage. So let's start doing that. But first, let's fix our mistake that we created. So right now, we have this bonus percentage at 0. And that means in this 0 spot, it's going to update every time you click on one. And if you were to change this, let's say to 5, so the 5th spot, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to be on the 6th. So the same thing's going to happen, except on the 6th, it's going to change for whatever we click on. See that? So the way we fix this is adding a new @state variable that is going to just be set to a number. So we'll just call it add1, and we're going to set this to 1. And instead of passing this bonus percentage in here, we're going to be passing that add1. And now whenever we go ahead and update this now, you'll see you can click wherever and it's no longer updating it in the actual picker, which is great. The next thing we want to do is figure out a way to calculate what our salary is times the percentage and then display it here. So let's create a section real quick that we're going to display, and that is done like this. We're going to make it a text. And inside here, we're just going to say something goes here for now, and we'll update that later. So let's hit resume and see it at least. So something goes here, great. So we're going to enter in our salary, click our percentage, and it's going to show up here. So let's create a computed property that actually takes care of all the math and then displays it here. So we'll name that added salary. And then that'll be a type double, because if someone does enter in a decimal here in the salary, it doesn't error out. So it'll handle those as well. I don't know who has a salary with a decimal in it, but you never know. First thing we're going to do, well, let's return 0 first. And then, so it takes care of the error, and we'll handle that in a minute. We need to set the bonus selected. So bonus selected would be equal to the double, because we got to wrap everything in a double, and then you're going to do bonus percentage, and then we're going to pass that add1, because that's where we've already told it our selection is that add1, so we'll just pass that up. Easy enough. The next thing is we need to handle this salary. So right now it's a string, because when you use a text field, this part needs to be of type string. Well, to make it a double, we have to tell it that. So we do let actual salary equal double, because we need to wrap it. And then we're going to pass in salary, but we're also going to go here and do 2 question marks, which is basically say, hey, pass in salary. If salary is nil, then I need you to pass in another number, and we're just going to add 0. So if someone doesn't put something in here and starts clicking, it'll automatically assume it's a 0, and then that's the math that it'll do. Okay, and the third thing is actually doing the percent. So we need to change this to be a percent, because 1 is not a percent. It doesn't know that. If you're doing math, it doesn't know that. And you do that by, we'll name it convert to percentage. And you'll set that to be bonus selected. So whatever we select, divide by 100. Okay, so if bonus was 7 divided by 100, that'd be 7%. So that's how you're coming up with that percentage. And then you're going to return this down here. So that's what this added salary is going to be. So you're going to return what? You're going to return that actual salary, which is what we converted, times that conversion we just made, converted to percent. So it's going to take, if this is 10, it's going to be times whatever percentage. So this is 10%. It's going to give us the answer there. Now we have to pass that into this section here. So since this is this has to be a string as well, we're going to wrap this too. We're going to do string interpolation, and then inside here we're going to add that added salary. And then we're going to resume here. Right now it's 0, because if it's nothing, if we don't put anything, we want it to be a 0. We told it that there. Okay, you could have made this, all kinds of numbers if you want, and then it'll add that too. So it'll times that by whatever one we're at, but 0 makes the most sense. Okay, and now you'll see, let's say we make 100K this year, and we get a 2% bonus. Well, it's going to give us 2,000. What if we get a 10% bonus? Well, 10,000. Okay, well, what if my salary is $68,048 and I get 5%? Well, that's $3,424. Now, one thing you'll see is there's a lot of zeros left afterwards. So that kind of looks funky because our eyes aren't used to seeing that many zeros after the decimal place. Maybe 2, possibly 3, just so you can see. I like 2 though. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. So let's come back over here. It's going to look a little odd at first because this is syntax from C programming language, but add a comma here after added salary and then type in specify. You'll start seeing specifier. Click that. Oh, I wanted to show you. Right here, when you type that in, you'll see it needs a string. So go ahead and do your double quotes. And inside here, you want to go ahead and add a % and then a period, and then how many places from the period or the decimal you want to go. In our case, we want to go 2. And then at the very end, add the letter F. So now you can see over here, it already updated 2 decimal points past, 2 placeholders past the decimal point. If you wanted to add 4 for whatever reason, you could. And also, if you didn't want any, if you wanted just to round up, you could just leave it at .f. In our case, I want to do 2 decimal points past and leave it there. Another thing I want to add in is right here, let's add a $sign so it shows money there. And I'm going to add a space as well. And now let's go ahead and try. So if I made 100,000 and I'm at 10%, then it goes ahead and gives me 10,000 and then 2 decimal places over. If I was at, let's go 79,068 cents. Probably never happened, but you never know. It now will calculate that as well over to the 2 decimal. So that's pretty neat. Now, one last thing I want to do to the form here is up here, I would like it to say something. I mean, we added this navigation view. We can take hold of that and actually add a title too. So let's do that, and it's in this form. So at the very end of the form, you want to do a dot nav, and it'll populate navigation title, and then in double quotes, name it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and name it my bonus. Actually, let's name it my yearly bonus. So now you know, my yearly bonus, I can add in my salary, and then it actually will go ahead and calculate it here. Two more steps I want to do. The first, I want to be able, right now I can add a string here. And well, let's actually spell string. I can add anything, but you can add letters here, which this handles and keeps it a 0, which is fine. But I want to go ahead and change this where the user can only add in numbers. And we can do that very easily by coming over here under this text field. You want to go ahead and do a dot keyboard, and you'll see this keyboard type option. Go ahead and do a period again, and you'll see options you can have. We want to go to this decimal pad because we only want to see numbers and a decimal point. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this on the simulator. And right now, if I click inside of this, I don't see the keyboard inside the simulator, but if you do Command K, it'll toggle that on for you. But now you can see there's no way of the user hitting any letters. It's numbers only for them to go ahead and enter in for us. And then they can go ahead and see their differences. And that is going to do it for this one, guys. I hope this was beneficial and you guys got something out of it. I do like to take my time and slow down and show you exactly what's going on behind the scenes. So hopefully I did that and got my point across. If you have further comments or questions, definitely leave them below. And like always, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you click that bell if you want to see upcoming content. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.